We're like
Shout out to all the Patreon subscribers right now who are watching the video. We're eating right now.
Yes, we're like smashing Popeyes, and like it's hella single and hella black right now.
Yeah,
so
listen, talk about intersectionality, right?
Yes, this is going to turn into like an ASMR podcast.
Low key.
Yes,
That's the goal, though.
Mm-hmm.
But so talk to me about what you've been up to, right? It's interesting because you travel more than anybody I fucking know on Instagram.
It's a lie.
All facts. You just went to China, right?
I was in Japan. So in April, I went on vacation. I spent a week in Japan, a week in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And then in May, I went to Morocco and Spain. Spain was for work. So it has been like 2 months of just like international travel, which is not usually the case for me, but it just kind of worked out that way. Like I love traveling. I also studied abroad in Japan.
Yeah.
So I love like Japanese culture. I'm like studying Japanese right now. So I've been like studying that like once a day. It's very random, but like that's something most people don't know about me, but yeah.
But we appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. So one thing that I love about you is the fact you have like the coolest friendship circles.
What are you talking about?
Like your clique. I remember Dukins invited me around y'all like maybe a year ago or months ago. Mm-hmm. Y'all have everybody in the crew like has the most outgoing, like y'all are the show.
You really think so?
Listen, I think the reality show would be major. Everybody's hilarious.
Okay. That's cool. I mean, I think like
you have to recognize that, right?
Yeah, no, I think we all have like a very set of different personalities.
Yeah.
And I think like that's what's cool about us. Like a lot of people are like, some people are over the top. Like, I mean, Dukes is like the best friend. He's like Nene. He's like the one that's like, I'm a good friend. He's
Dukes is needy?
Dukes is Nene. But yeah, I
low
think
key not surprised.
Yeah, and then I like also have just like pockets of different friends. I realize like just that I kind of like bounce around from, and I love to like bring them all together like every so often. But yeah,
same.
Mm-hmm.
I stand y'all, by the way.
Thank you.
So what's been going on with your romantic life?
Well, okay. Right now I'm like starting to date. Like I've been just trying to get back into the process of dating. It's not the most fun.
So who you telling?
I actually like just tweeted the other day like I'm sick of this like process. It's like a mixed bag of like just you never know what you're gonna get. But right now like I haven't met anyone just quite yet, but yeah.
How are you going about doing that? Just the traditional social media?
Right now, like through Tinder for the most part. Like I've been trying to meet people from there.
Good luck with that.
Well, I just feel like it kind of.
I've met some great guys on Tinder. I'm just saying that because I know the process.
Yeah, but like it kind of puts me into a position of meeting people I normally wouldn't in the spaces that I'm in usually.
Yeah.
And I kind of appreciate that because I think you just never know like what's out there, the different types of people that you might meet versus like the people that you're always around.
Right. But of course you have a type.
Do I have a type?
Or like in the past you've traditionally dated guys who embody these characteristics.
I feel like every guy I've dated has been very different. And I also think about like just the different different types of like ways I was dating over time. Like I realized like early on, like I was very much into like the gray area type of
Tell me more.
dating. Like I was always like meeting guys and then being like, oh, like I don't really quite know what I want, or like just kind of like in a weird space. But then like I decided that wasn't quite like productive. And then I met like back like one of my first relationships in New York City, like I met this guy who was like a dancer. He was like very much like I think I do have a thing for dancers. Like I seem to attract dancers, or I seem to like creatives who dance. But he was a dancer. He was also just very like bubbly, and it's not somebody I would normally go for, but like I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a risk and I'm gonna like get out of that gray area space and like try it. Try to be in a relationship. And I did it. And there was things that like I wasn't quite like happy with, but then I just the craziness pulled me into liking him more. And it's actually what's my web series I have, like that first episode is based off of that relationship. So like
this is very Issa.
What do you mean?
It's very Issa. Yeah. Pulling from real life experiences.
That's what art is about. It's like all about what's going on in your life and how you can, like, I guess, find ways to express that in a healthy way.
I'm usually subscribe to that idea, but I've recently had like a hella single moment.
Yeah.
Well, I said something on the show, and then a guy that I was dating at the time listened.
Okay.
So yeah, we're making sure that we're censoring ourselves a little bit more.
Yeah, you do have to have a level, I think, of sensory just to make sure that you kind of have to think about the people out there that you're trying to get to know. But
I got caught up. You can say it.
Yeah,
you can say it.
Yeah, I think from what I listen to on a podcast, you're very forthcoming, like always, and I'm always like, you really said that? Like when I listen to the podcast, I'm very like. I'm like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't say that. But, like, that's why you're who you are, you know?
That's adorable. I think you would. You seem pretty honest. Why not, though? Is there, like, a lot of... Well, let me say this. Everyone always says you have to be a good guy because you had your exes on the show. Because if my exes came on, so they would rip me a new one. So you have to be a little bit of a... of course you're not...
Yeah.
I hear, on your fuckboy shit, right?
Well, I mean... I am honest. I am very forthcoming, but also I do understand there's a level of censorship that you should have just to maintain a level of, like, I don't know, positivity.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Have you met any promising Tinder guys so far? Because I know Tinder has to be exhausting. The constant swiping, the matching that don't lead anywhere.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating to me when you read someone's bio, you look at their photos, and you're like, I would truly connect with this guy. I like him. We speak the same, and then they don't respond to your message. I
mean, I think, like, there's been potential, right? And then it doesn't seem to work out. Like, I feel like that's the whole process of dating. Like, the first relationship, I met him on Tinder.
How long ago was this?
This is 2015. So I feel like there is potential, like that you can find someone, but also like you're gonna go through a lot of bullshit too. Like I met somebody not too long ago from Tinder, and he was a really great guy, but I just felt like there was certain things that I wanted in terms of like a relationship that like that guy couldn't quite provide. But yeah.
Tell me more. Now I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Tell me more.
I think in the past, a lot of times when I've met guys, it's been very much like, okay, this is something. There were certain personality traits that I wasn't quite into, such as like one guy was like wanted to party all the time and like never wanted to make plans, and I was like, okay, like that's not working for me. But this guy, he had all the personality parts, but I think there was other elements that was like physical that I hated to admit, but like did make a difference. And I'm realizing like before those things never made a difference to me, but I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm like, all right, I want to date somebody that I could see myself with long term, that I feel like we look great together. We also have like a great vibe and energy, and we're compatible.
I'm glad you started there. Look great together. Not as important to me anymore. Like I used to have my list. My list used to be super long. I got to a point now where I'm just like in the non-negotiable space. Okay. Like I just have 5 things that like need to be a part of the equation. There's no way we can move forward. So everything else, yeah, the looks. I think sexual attraction used to be like 5 on my list. It's 1 now.
Sexual attraction.
Sexual attraction and sexual compatibility.
Okay.
You were fucking those Tinders up.
What do you mean? Oh, I'm
hungry too. Now
they have open. So Popeyes has tater tots now, and like I just had to try it. So but yeah. Anyways,
continue. Please be yourself.
And I love to eat them like a fat ass. So okay,
it's okay. We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Yes. But the food threw me off. So what we were just saying now?
We were talking about the non-negotiables.
Okay.
And relationships.
Well, I think like in terms of looks, it's never been like the top of the list for. I just realized that like in terms of height, there's certain like height in terms of a guy that I would like to date.
So you wouldn't date a guy that's shorter?
I would date somebody that's shorter. Like,
let's go to Chris is 6'2". 2.
Yeah. I'm not looking for somebody that's taller than me.
75% of the New York gay population.
I mean, like,
everybody's not 6'2", Chris.
Okay, this is like,
I'm speaking for all the
short
niggas.
Like, I don't want to. Oh God, like, I don't want to be
I'm
like
5'8", and there's I used to have a height hang up too.
Yeah.
All the guys I dated were my height or shorter. Mm-hmm. It's the hugging part that's weird to me. You know, when you're shorter, you have to do the tippy toe reach.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, no, you need to be shorter. I can't. You need to be leaned down a little bit. I can't get any higher.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, the thing is, it hasn't always been the case, but as of recently, I'm like, all right, you can't be like hella short, right? Like, you have to just be.
Let's define hella short. Is hella short
5'5" and below?
Okay,
but the thing is, it's like, oh God, like, I hate even saying this because it's like makes me sound so shallow, and I've never it's never been the huge factor, but I'm realizing it is more so now.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Yeah.
Have you ever introduced a guy to your mom?
No, I haven't. My mom lives. So I'm from Michigan. So my family is in Michigan. So I've never been in like a long-term relationship enough to like go back to Michigan with my family and then meet him. Also, just never really been in a super long-term relationship.
What was your longest?
Like 6 months, 6, 7, maybe 8 months, maybe. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. So it's still like I'm still looking for like that long-term relationship before I even get to that stage of introducing my family.
I feel that. Well, that's not sure. That was like my goal for the longest. Like, I want to, because I was in a relationship where he wasn't out, and I wasn't forthcoming about the relationship. So it got
forthcoming to your family?
To my family.
Oh, okay.
They knew he existed, but at the time they just thought he was roommate best friend.
They knew he existed and they were okay with it? Like, as in, like, you be in a relationship with a guy?
They didn't know we were in a relationship.
Okay.
Right. But he was always in the equation.
Okay.
I think out of respect for him, I didn't tell anybody.
Okay.
So that entire time I wanted to tell everybody that I was in a relationship. And now, like, I really want to like date somebody long enough and they be serious enough that I can introduce you to my mom.
Yeah.
That's just one of the adult milestones I wanted to accomplish as a child. Like, hey, family, this is my boyfriend.
For sure.
But it's not looking too good.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, it's just not right now. You know, like, eventually we'll get to that place where we're able to. And I'm speaking, it into the atmosphere that like we will meet someone that we will like. They will be the person that we can introduce to the family, You're a
little bit more optimistic than I am, but I appreciate it.
I'm all about being optimistic. Because, I mean, without being optimistic, you'd just be, like, depressed and, like, sad about, like, shit.
I'm slightly jaded. I will say that.
I mean, aren't we all, though? Like,
I'm glad you admitted that because I feel like we all are.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's fair. That's fact. We all are a little jaded.
Yes, very, very much so. I mean, I feel like
that's a moment. I walk around, like, to me, it's a huge turnoff when it comes to men. Like, if I could see that you're still scarred from your past situation, then it's like,
you're turned off by that?
Absolutely. Because I feel like I'm aware of it and I don't punish people for it.
Right.
I feel like most guys punish you for it. Like, with me, like, the inconsistency thing is like the buzzword of the moment. So not responding to text messages immediately and having things that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, don't make me feel bad because the last guy who didn't like you and didn't have the balls to communicate that.
Right.
Like, that's not me. If I wasn't interested, we wouldn't be communicating.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like, yes, that is the problem where it does affect the relationship. In a way, it's always going to affect how you interact with somebody you're dating.
That's fair.
Like, on both sides.
Yeah.
But I think when it becomes, like, a major like topic all the time of like, oh, this is the past that I've been through and this is how it's affecting me.
Bingo.
It becomes a problem like that you can't quite fix. But yeah, I think like over the last year or so, I feel like I've been kind of in a very like jaded position where like I dated someone and then it went very left and like just kind of made it hard to get back on track.
What happened?
Well, I think, I was saying before, like about the process of like dating and understanding how to date. Like I started off in the gray area. Then I dated someone, realized that they were into like partying all the time and not like wanting to make plans.
Like one-on-one plans.
Yeah, like it just was. I always had to be the one to come up with the plans, and that's frustrating. And it's like, okay, like, are you really? And I knew that he wanted to like be there, but it just was not. His like priority was partying.
What was the story you were telling yourself when he would not make plans to see you?
I knew that he had good intentions, but I was just like, like, I know this is not quite what I want.
Yeah.
So then I learned certain things that I liked, certain things that I wouldn't tolerate. And so from there, I was like, okay, this is a situation where it's not working and I need to be upfront. So I like had a conversation, and this is the first time I had to like reject someone. I had to be like, you know, like
this isn't working for me.
This isn't working for me. And I still remember that day. I like remember going into like this like restaurant. It was a Thai restaurant.
Chris, you did it in person?
Yeah, because yes, absolutely. This is somebody I was dating for like 5 months, and like I'm not. What am I gonna do? Just like ignore them and disappear?
No. Ghost. I never recommend ghosting, but I would have sent the text message.
No, I don't like going about it that way because I just feel as if I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me.
Yeah.
And so I went to him. We had the conversation, and I actually cried as I was saying it to him. He was like, "It's okay," and I was like, "Okay." So I got.
So he understood.
He understood.
How did it go left then?
I'm kind of like walking you through how I've learned how to date, and then I'm gonna get there.
I appreciate it. Listen, I appreciate the storybook journey. Listen, take me there.
Yeah.
Take me there. Go ahead.
So then I learned the element of something that I really needed, which is somebody who can like come up with plans, and then also, you know, I've learned how to reject someone, I guess. And so then the next person I dated, like from there, he was somebody I was crushing on for a little while, and I thought that like I was like, okay, we're both in the same city. We were like in Atlanta, and I ran into him. And like I shot my shot and I scored, and like swish. And then like we started dating, but he lived in Chicago. He like it was long distance. But he was a great guy. I really appreciated like the things that we like, our dating and our relationship. Like we would travel and visit each other, but I realized I was like, oh, he's not. There were certain things that he liked to do that I didn't like. He liked to talk about people sometimes, and like I was like, that radiates negative energy, and I don't like that. And he was like, well, it's something that me and my friends like to do. And I was like, well, it should be all about spewing positive energy. And he was like, well, I was like, if you spew positive energy, good things come to you. And he was like, that's childish.
At what point did you think it was a dub after he said that?
I was just like, okay, well, this is a problem, and there was some other things that happened, and I was like, okay, let's end this situation. So I've already did my first level of rejection, so it was a little bit easier with him. But I think in that moment, it was just, I learned that some of the issues that we had that made me upset weren't as big. And the reason is because like the next guy I had dated after that, I'm like really telling a full.
Listen, I appreciate it. I feel like a Yanla right now.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, if I'm coming on Hella Single, I gotta like tell my perspective on like dating.
Continue, beloved.
So, I mean, the next guy I dated, he was like beautiful, gorgeous, and just all around seemed like a really charming, nice guy. And I think throughout that time we were getting to know each other, I realized there was just little arguments all the time. And I was like, this is super early to be arguing.
How early into the getting to know each other phase were y'all arguing? Y'all would argue, or just like the back and forth dick measuring contest?
It would be like, it just got like really fucked up. Like early on, so there was this time period, I think like maybe a month or two after we started dating, he was like, oh, let's take a break.
What?
I'm like,
a break for what?
He was like, I'm not. It was like a break for like a week or two, and I was like, he was like, he was upset at me for some reason. And I was like, okay. And then I so happened to find out like during that time there was a break, his ex was in town, and like they were hanging out, and I was like, all right, that's sneaky, and that's a huge red flag. And for me, like, this is probably like a bad situation.
Wait, was it sneaky though? It was sneaky because the break was conveniently when the ex was in town.
Yeah, that was sneaky to me. Is that not sneaky?
No, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, I would have liked to know that the ex was in town, especially if we're cool. And
right.
The reason why I sound like this is dry ass Popeyes biscuits in my mouth. Let me swallow, and not in a good way.
Yes, like we are truly eating. Like I don't even want to eat this chicken just because like I feel like it might be awkward on the microphone.
The dryness of this biscuit should be illegal. It's like it's all flour.
Wait, are you saying this about all Popeyes biscuits?
I'm saying this about all Popeyes biscuits.
Oh, you tripping? Like,
first of all, this is confirmed. There've been casualties as a result of this. People have lost their lives. People have choked to death.
Everybody loves a Popeyes biscuit. What are you talking about?
Dogs have choked to death on these biscuits.
Where are the sources? Where are the receipts? Because I have not heard any of this.
Listen, you have all the Googles like I do. Okay?
All I know is, like, if you don't want your Popeyes biscuit, you can give it to me.
Listen, it's all yours.
And I will take it.
I know CPR.
At the end of the interview.
Last date. I'm just curious. Like, when was the last time you've been like a traditional, formal, sit-down activity date? And what do you like to do? I'm just curious.
Well, it was the last date was maybe 2 days ago.
This is a hell of a say exclusive. With who?
What
and where'd y'all go? No, I'm playing. Y'all see how I snuck that in there?
No.
So obviously not with who. This is a guy you met from Tinder?
Yes.
Do I know?
No, I don't think so. So it's actually kind of funny because before I left for Japan, so I went to Japan and
because he's well traveled. Let's be clear.
Just in April, I went to Japan. It's my favorite place. I was in Japan and I was like on Tinder and I matched with this guy
in Japan.
Yeah, and I was talking to him and he was like, "Oh, like I live in New York, but I'm in Thailand right now." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So
an international date. I'm so impressed. This is so sexy to me. This is very eat, pray, love.
You know what? It's been an amazing few months lately, I will say. So
I am living all the way vicariously through your travel stories. Continue. So you met the guy. He's from New York. He's in Thailand. You're in Japan.
Yes. But like I feel like we must have matched in New York. Like we must have, like he might have swiped on me in New York.
Yeah.
And that's why we matched.
I'm like, yeah, I can imagine you doing much swiping.
Yeah. It didn't make sense. Like, I don't know. So I was like, okay, cool. And we met up. But like he was really cool. And then weeks went by between the first date and this next one. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay, like what's going on? I was like, if he can't make time between, I guess, like a few weeks, I was like, he must not be that interested.
No. Can we unpack that for 1 second?
Okay.
You're busy, right? I think that people would make the assumption that you just don't have time to be texting all day, right?
Yes, I hate texting.
Me too.
I hate texting.
What's your sign? Are you Pisces? Okay.
Close, but not quite.
Pisces vibes.
No.
Why do you hate it?
I hate texting just because it's mundane and it's just nonstop. Like I have things to do. Like I don't want to like be on my phone. To me, it feels like I'm in love with technology rather than like in love with the person.
Exactly.
Like let's have a phone conversation or at least FaceTime sometimes. Like texting all the time is just gets dry.
It's super dry. Like the how are yous and the what you doing is like kill me.
Yeah.
Like I would rather you tell me what you ate for breakfast than to ask those same repetitive non-starter questions.
Yeah, it becomes a routine and it's like an everyday thing after a while. Like it's more like entertaining when there's spaces and then I can like then I'll see you later and then we have a conversation.
Right.
And I didn't know, at work especially, like you're not really getting a lot of texts from me because my focus is at work right now. And then like when I leave work, then we'll text. And also like, I'm not like ignoring you, but like at a certain, once I get a break at work, I'll send you a text, but like it's not an all day thing. And I like that. I like when it's not, there's spaces between our messages.
Me too. I love it when a guy is busy.
Yeah.
Like I love to know that you and I are not communicating because you're working on something.
For sure.
That's my MO.
Yeah.
Like I just can't be there's no way I'm going to be responding to a text message every 5 minutes. And a lot of times I do this, and I'm pretty sure everybody listening is guilty of this as well. Like, I respond in my head, and then never.
Yes. Like, you thought you responded, and then you never sent it.
No, I'm like, I say what I planned on typing. I just never really get around to it.
Okay. Do you forget about it?
You know what it is? This is what I don't do. I don't text on the train anymore, because when you get around to actually responding, you don't have any service.
Yeah, and then sometimes you think you sent it and it didn't go through.
Right. And then there's no way, the fact that you're responding maybe 5 minutes apart, there's no way the conversation is ever going to progress.
Yes.
That's one. If I'm editing, I do not edit. I do not respond while I'm editing a project.
Okay.
I edit on my breaks. And usually people just like get the picture and they stop responding. But I'm very upfront with everybody that I interact with that I'm not a good texter. I'm the shittiest texter ever. So if you want to get a hold of me, just call me. Mm-hmm. I pick up every time someone calls.
Do you really though?
I do. I have like maybe 2 missed calls.
Okay.
I have receipts.
Well, I mean, it depends on who it is. I mean, usually it's always like Time Warner calling. So I like ignore. But yeah, I mean, I think like
my sister did FaceTime, and I need to FaceTime her back at some point.
Okay. After.
No, of course after the show, right?
Right.
I love you, sis.
But what was I getting? I was saying that like a lot of times people want rapid text too.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a lack of intention when it's like just texting the text.
Mm-hmm. They just want to see if they have access to you still.
Yeah. For me, sometimes there's pauses between my text messages because like I want to take the time to send a thoughtful message that actually like means something. It's not, and it doesn't have to be a deep thing, but it's like, you know, if somebody says, hey, what are you doing, you know, tonight, or like, how are you, and things like that, I want to actually say like, this is how I am, and this is what I'm doing, and this is why. Like I've like sent a like, it's not like a long message, but it's just like a thought out message. Yeah.
I told myself that I would never leave my cell phone on while recording, and my phone's high.
It was kind of perfect timing because you said you pick up every phone call and you just didn't. So
that was actually a text.
Oh, okay.
And I don't respond to every text. Okay. No, but I'll respond to this one. We're linking later.
Okay, cool. But yeah, that's how I feel about texting.
You're genuinely nice.
Thank you.
I'm not surprised, but I didn't realize how nice you were.
Who did you think I was?
I knew you. Well, here's the thing. Like, I think, well, you know, right? I'm real. Oh, you don't know.
No, what?
You know, like sometimes people's kindness is performative, and okay. I'm not suggesting that I thought that about you, but you know, you just never know.
Yeah, it's a fake. It's like a fake LA. Like,
hey, how are you?
Yeah,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
To me, I just rather you just not say anything as opposed to like, come on.
I hate fake interactions. Yeah. It drains my soul. Like I can't. And this is even that in work environments, like I hate being fake. Like I hate having to turn on a certain personality to be somebody that's not who I am at my core. And it's like,
it's frustrating.
Yes.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
And back to these Popeyes fries though. Mm-hmm. They're just not hitting after they've been sitting out for a couple minutes?
Yeah, no. And like these chicken tenders are like sticky, so I'm like, should I eat it? But I'm gonna take a bite right now. So I feel like we're giving an ASMR moment.
Go ahead, please.
So you're just not that kind of girl. Have you seen that ASMR video?
I have.
I am a queen. What does Shangela say? She's so funny.
What, remember, you know this one?
Girl. Oh my God. ASMR is so ridiculous.
Yo, it's so funny. It makes my entire day. The bang, the when you eat like the mass amount of mukbang, yes.
Yeah. So
that's my favorite pastime.
What do you mean? Doing it?
No.
Oh, watching it. Okay.
Watching it.
The ASMR chew woman who like is like typing while she's like chewing gum. You know who I'm talking about?
I don't.
You know who I'm talking about because she always in the memes. She's always like the one that's like.
You said she's a woman or like a little? I know
it's
the
a black woman.
Girl.
It's a black woman. She's always like typing on a keyboard and like chewing her gum.
I know her.
Yeah, everybody knows her. She's like the ASMR woman. Like she's the
I didn't know she was that bitch. Excuse me.
What? She's in a Fenty Beauty ad. Because always Fenty Beauty is always culturally relevant and doing things for the culture, but
it's just news to me.
Yeah.
Go off, black woman. Go off.
She's amazing. Well, I don't know if she's amazing. For eating food on camera.
Listen, we are doing it today. I'm so glad you agreed to do this.
Yeah. No,
most people don't want to be cute. Sorry, most people try to be cute.
Oh, see, like, and that's the thing.
Eating Popeyes just isn't cute.
So, like, I went on a date. God, I feel like I'm gonna sound like I'm always. No, I'm dating because I want to meet somebody, right?
Show,
so I was on a date with this guy, and we went to Sweet Chick, and of course it's chicken and waffles, and like you have to get in there, you have to eat. And he was like, "This is just such a like heavy meal. Like I just felt like." I want to be cute and I can't be cute, and I'm like,
he was probably planning on fucking later, which is
not. I don't think that's what it is. He just like it's all about his person, like wanting to put on his persona.
On you know what I mean?
Though? On a date. What do you mean? That's exactly what people do. People put on personas to go on date, and then they're like, all right, this is who I want you to think I am.
There's no way to gauge true compatibility that way.
Exactly, but. Everybody does, but that's what a lot of people do. So for me, I'm like me. Like I'm like, all right, I like to eat. So I am a foodie. I love trying new restaurants. That's what I want to do. So like we're eating chicken and waffles. I know we're gonna get messy, and like that doesn't bother me. Like I'm not looking. I mean, of course, you might be a little self-conscious because you might have like some sauce in your beard or something.
Right. That means you're eating.
Yeah.
Which is okay, right?
And it's fine. So like. Yeah, that's exactly why I'm okay with just like, I'm not putting on a persona for nobody.
How long did it take you to get to that point? 'Cause I think that it's easy, right? The pressures of being or not being who the other person expects you to be. Mm-hmm. When did you get to the point where you truly realized that you were enough as you were?
Well, I mean, I don't really carry it around in that way. Like, I feel like I'm me, right? Like, I can't change that.
Yeah.
But if I don't feel comfortable, like, being myself around certain people, I just kind of like don't talk much.
Yeah.
I just kind of like seclude a little bit. But like, yeah, like, and it's not because it's just because I don't feel comfortable like if sharing who I am in those moments sometimes. But I don't know, in terms of like getting to this space and time in my life, it was I don't know. Am I there yet? I don't think so.
Are you? So on the first day, no, you answered the question. On the first day, if a guy asks you about marriage, what do you say? And are you immediately taken aback if that's the first date conversation starter?
I mean, it would be a little weird, like if you said it as soon as we sat down, like I want my last name dropped, meaning I want to be married. You know where that is from, right?
No, but I think that I need to steal that.
Where's that from? It's from Tiffany Pollard. Where are you in the like Twitter memes, like? But no,
I'm a fake Twitterer.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, it's a Tiffany Pollard quote from a video. She says, "I want my last name dropped, meaning I want to be married. I want my eggs cracked, meaning I want a child." So that's what she says. So if somebody came to me with that type of energy, I would probably be like, probably not. You're probably a little crazy. But if we're having a normal conversation, we're talking about dating, and we're like, oh, like, you know, eventually I want to be married, and he says something like that, I wouldn't look at it weird.
Why do niggas feel the need to add the eventually word? Like, obviously not tomorrow. But when a guy says eventually, I'm like, what are we talking? Years, months, decades?
Well, I mean, in the way that it's going for a lot of us, it's like all we know is eventually. We don't know when that's going to happen. Like, and also it might be weird when it's like, I'm putting a time on it. Like, I don't know. Do you want somebody to be like, I'm getting married at this time, or is it just like I'm like,
hey, cool. Well, let's see if the cards align.
Okay. So you would be okay with someone being like, all right, I want to be married by like the end of the year.
Yeah.
That wouldn't like make you feel like pressured?
No, not at all. Let me explain to you why. I've always believed that my love would happen really quickly.
Okay.
Every situation I've been in, every guy that I've dated, the relationship, and not even I can understand how it sounds as though it's one of those things. Oh my God, I want to be in love so bad. I want a boyfriend so bad. Let's be in a relationship. Like, it wasn't that at all on any level. Like, we just truly connected. And to me, I say this all the time. Like, when you're in your late 20s, being with somebody is more than just a decision. It should be a plan, right? It's not like this aspirational quote. It's something that you can make happen any second you want. So I kind of like subscribe to that way of thinking.
Okay.
When it comes to like love and relationships, and I also feel like if it's not too soon if it works out, it's only too soon if it doesn't work out.
But do you feel like it's unhealthy to like jump into things? Like, you know what I mean? Like, to jump to like, I feel like the thought of like immediately falling for somebody is problematic, because I think the thing is, and another thing I learned over time is just like, love isn't enough like to make someone compatible with you. Like, you could fall for somebody and they are terrible for you, and it's like you're in love, but like you got there, but you didn't take the time to go through the process of understanding. Okay, we are compatible in this way. Oh, you do this, I'm okay with that. Oh, you do that, I'm not okay, and that's something I don't tolerate. So like, I worry about like falling intensely really quickly because of that reason.
And I have in the past. I think that, you know, this is where the jadedness comes in. Like, I've experienced it enough to know that it's not sustainable. The feelings are always typically fleeting.
No, I totally understand that, and I think it takes time to get to that place. But by the time you get there, then it's okay to fall in love, you know. But yeah, are you just thinking about the thought of falling in love right now?
I'm thinking about this summer. And like, to me, I always have these high hopes of having like this amazing summertime fling, or dating, living my best life, you know, or just at least crushing hard on the guy. Mm-hmm. And that really happens like that.
Yeah, but you know what? I feel like we keep putting all this like over the top pressure on things to have a hot boy summer, have a hot girl summer. Like, it's just like.
No, that's a vibe all summer.
Yeah, period. It's a vibe, but also I think, man, like, this is something I've been feeling a lot. On Twitter, I feel like there's just so much toxic thoughts and like feelings that we all kind of condone and like say that it's okay.
Like what?
But, I mean, I think like it's okay to be like, yeah, I'm gonna have like a hot girl summer, but like then people say like, dump your man, like we single this summer, like we fucking around all summer long. And I feel like it's cool, but then it's like, is that really what you want? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to be like,
no, I'm playing.
I mean, yeah, some people really do want that, but then they also say I want a relationship. So it's like, what do you want? And then also like, this is another thing. As of recently, it's just such a high, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just so much like sex all the time. Like, everybody's always talking about sex.
It's in your face.
On their feed, nonstop. Just like, I just want some dick right now. Like, it's just like everybody's just tweeting like rapid, like horny, like teenagers nonstop on Twitter. And it's like, I can't. Okay, so I understand it. No, I understand it, because I mean, I get into that place too. But also it's like toxic when you always are talking about it, always thinking about it.
Right.
And it becomes like the only thing you think about.
Right.
Because every time you log on Twitter, it's always like, I want to be choked. I want to be this. And it's like, God damn, this all y'all talk about all the damn time? Shit.
They want to be choked, Chris.
This shit drives me crazy.
They want to be choked.
But also, I guess it weeds a lot of folks out, because I'm just like, do y'all have jobs? Because y'all can't be talking like this, having a job.
I say you know that all the time. Listen, I figured it out, okay? Let me explain to you how they can do that. Mm-hmm. Most people don't have their real names on Twitter, but my dumb ass was at Lamont Baldwin. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, let's get rid of this. Mm-hmm. So that's why. If you have if it's just your face and your default and your name is Chicken Little, mm-hmm. you're safe.
I don't know about that. I mean, jobs, I mean, it ain't even about the job always, but it's just like, I don't know. It's frustrating. But people are probably going to be mad at me for saying that, but I don't care, because that's how I feel.
Like, he said what he said.
Yeah, I said what I said. Like, Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. In your friendship circle, if it was the Sex and the City cast, who would you be? Just go ahead and say it. We're all thinking it.
Well, okay. Like, I actually didn't watch the series much, but I watched the movies. I don't know. Like, which one is like? God, see, I don't even know the names. My gay card is full right now.
Right. This is an awful question.
Who would I be?
Well, Charlotte.
Charlotte is the one that's like the pulled together one, who's like
who
has a husband. Mm-hmm. Okay. I would yeah. I mean, I'm okay with that.
Who would be Samantha in your friendship circle?
So I don't know if you know this person, but my friend Xander, he would be the Samantha.
Xander's a super, super funny one.
No. Samantha, which one is Samantha?
The freak.
Why am I? Oh yeah. The freak. Damn. Well, I was thinking like Carrie Bradshaw, but he's like a mixture between Carrie Bradshaw and her. Yes.
That was a nice save. A nice save.
Yeah.
I'm always curious, like what role people play in their friendship circle. I would be a Carrie for sure, in so many ways, and I would probably be my three best friends, like our 4 core group.
Yeah.
Of course, we're Destiny's Child.
Okay.
And I'm LaToya in the group.
Okay.
I was kicked out, unfortunately.
Okay. I was like, so what's LaToya? LaToya had like some good harmonies in Say My Name.
Well, LaToya is a boss bitch. She has a very successful acting career.
Oh, yeah. I love LaToya. I think I was obsessed when she first came out because I was like, yeah, she better step outside of the like spotlight and like have your own, you know? I feel like you don't remember how we actually met.
I do remember we went to the club at BBQs.
We went to Jacob's Pickle.
Who?
It was me, you, and Dukes. We went to Jacob's Pickle. Remember we got that fucking... it was like the bread pudding, and I was going in.
You know why I'm so upset with you? That wasn't when we met.
It's not.
We met like years before, and it was like, okay.
Well, I feel like that was the first time we sat together and had conversation.
No, that wasn't the first time. Put the mic to your lips. That wasn't the first time we met.
Okay.
Okay. Put your thinking cap on. I'm taking you back to the year 2000 and something. All right. So it was Dukins, you,
yes,
and like 3 other friends. Okay. One of them, it was I know y'all were friends. Okay. We were at Gay BQs, aka the BBQs in Chelsea. Yes. After that, we went to XL.
Okay.
Remember when XL was still a thing?
Yeah, no, I totally remember.
Okay.
That was like the usual. You go to BBQs, you get drunk, then you go to XL.
Okay, so there's no way in hell you know which night this was. So
I don't. That's so shady. I didn't mean to say it like that.
No, it's okay.
But
it's okay. It's fine. I was a Dukin's random friend. I get it. But one thing about it, I remember I was like, yo, Chris can actually dance. Like, you have rhythm, okay?
That was like when I would go to the club and I was dancing. Like, I was like, I don't care who's around, I'm dancing.
You dance too, and most niggas just stand and hold the wall up. I was like, I could party with him.
Yeah.
And then after we left the club, I hope this isn't telling too much. I was like, where you headed? And you were going to this guy's house in Brooklyn. So you were dating him at the time. How many niggas you dated in Brooklyn?
Oh my God!
It was one in particular.
I don't remember this time.
Forget I ever brought it up.
because also like I don't know. So what I remember, we went to Jacob's Pickle. It was me, you, and Dukes.
Yes.
This is like when we like connected,
later.
like for real.
And I played you the first episode.
Yes, because during that time it was like probably drunk and like having fun, and like that was super early on in like my being in New York. But like when we,
can I add one more thing? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's when I met your best friend Shaquille.
Oh yeah, Shaq. Yes. So Shaq is also from Michigan. He's from Flint. So we both.
And he still doesn't remember. It's okay. It was so funny. You were like, remember at the beginning of the interview, you were like, you don't remember when we met. You don't remember when we met.
I
remember.
Sort of like one of those times when you like go out and you party with a bunch of people and like, but you know, it wasn't.
I get it. 100%.
Like finally when we actually connected and like had conversation, we were at Jacob's Pickle. It was like me, you, and Dukes.
Yes.
And first off, Jacob's Pickle is like amazing. The food is great. So we were eating good.
Everything was so amazing.
Yes. And then they had like this crazy bread pudding. Of course, I remember the food because I don't know, I'm a fat ass. So we had the bread pudding. It was amazing. But this is the inception of like your podcast. Like you just started it and you were putting out the first episode soon. And you let us listen to it. And I remember listening to like the conversation with your ex and I was like cringing. I was like, is he really doing this? No. Like, this is a lot. And I was like,
same.
Okay. Who is this guy? Like, what is he doing? But I like the concept of it. So I was like, cool. And then, so after that, like, that's when we really, really connected. And I remember we were having conversation and I was like, I'm working on this series. And I sent it to you, or I like sent you maybe the first episode, and you put me in contact with Sean and from Slate TV, and so that's how like Reality Check ended up here. So that, and also Slate Fest. That's how like I ended up in Slate Fest. So that's like what I remember, because that's like we actually connected at that time, and we actually like talked outside of like a club.
Yes.
Yeah.
This happened. Listen, I feel like you feel bad. Don't feel bad.
No, don't feel bad.
Please don't.
No.
But I remember like I was like, cool, because I always love meeting Duke's friends.
Yeah.
I feel like he has like the best taste in friends.
No, Dukes has like a friend for every moment.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Chris, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. This was fun.
I'm glad
you didn't finish your tenders though.
I'm finishing it off camera. But no,
he's too cute to finish his Popeyes.
We just had a conversation. I just like the interview's wrapping up, but it was great. Like I also like don't want it to end.
It's okay. Can you stick around for the after show?
Yeah, for sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
That was Hella Single, y'all. Peace.